Hey y'all, it's Sharon Armstrong from the Creativate Team. I am so excited to bring you this fun project. I've seen it before. I hadn't had a chance to play with it until I was planning my project for the retreat. It is called a front pocket card, and you can tuck anything you want inside. Maybe a tea bag, maybe some flowers. Let your imagination run wild when you're making this card. I can't wait to show it to you and how easy it is to do. Okay, so here is my card and here is my pocket. Just a little pocket right there to tuck something in. This is what my project sheet looks like. You will see the other samples when you download, or I'm sure by now you have downloaded this because you're watching this video. I am using Nature's Prints. I think it's a fun stamp set. It's got several images and several different greetings. And I always love a stamp set that gives me variety. I chose to use the Natural Prints dies. Of course, this is a bundle, but again, so many options that you can use with the dies. So first, we're going to make our pocket, and we're going to go through the steps together. I want to move my cutting blade way out of the way because I don't want to cut. I want to score first at 4 1/4, just like you would on any other card. And I'm going to set this aside, but I'm still going to need it. Now, at the top of our card is where we need to start using a ruler and making our measurements, okay? So let me grab my pencil. And if you'll just remember 2 3/4, that's all you have to remember, okay? So we're going to take and line up our ruler up at the top, and I've got the 1-inch mark over here, and I'm going to go to 2 3/4, and I'm going to make a mark, okay? Then I'm going to turn my card, and still from the top, I'm going to make another mark. You guessed it, 2 3/4 right here. Now I'm using a pencil so that I can erase anything that might show later. Then I'm going to turn it this way. And again, from the top, we're going to measure 2 3/4. And that's it, okay? So we're going to move our ruler and our pencil. And now I'm going to bring in my, my paper trimmer again. And I want to put those marks. There's one right there. Oh, I bet you can't see it on the video. I'm looking. I don't think you can see it. Let's move it over here. Trust me, it's there. So we've got our center mark that we did first. And then we've got the one on the right-hand side. Okay, we've got both of those lined up in what I call the gutter, where our trimmer blade will go. And we're going to use our scoring blade again, and we're going to score. Okay, then we're going to take it and we're going to swing it around, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. I've got my mark up here and my mark on the left down here, and I'm going to score again. That's it, okay? Now let's bring back our tutorial, and I want to show you that I have told you to make a mark at the top and a mark on the sides. And I have my information up here so that you'll know it's 2 3/4 down, and then of course 2 3/4 is flat in the middle. Got it? Okay. So now you need to decide, do you want your card, do you want the score line to be on the outside, you know, the hump, or do you want your card to fold like this? Okay, I prefer this way. And then we're going to get our bone folder. And we're going to give that a good crease. Like that. And then we're going to fold these flaps up. and give them good creases with our bone folder. And again, now you can kind of see my little pencil mark over here. So I'm just going to take a white eraser and just erase that. That's it. Now we're going to take a piece of Scotch tape, a piece of washi tape, whatever you prefer to hold this flap together. Okay. It's not going to be seen, so it doesn't matter. Well, I guess the only way it would matter is if you had a light colored designer series paper and you were using a very bold piece of washi tape. That's the only reason it would matter. Okay, so we have formed our little pocket. You can see there's our little pocket. Now we're going to set that aside. And I have some designer series papers. I have a piece that's 3.5 by 3.5. I'm going to get my paper trimmer again. We're going to bring this in, and this time I do want my cutting blade. Okay. I'm going to take, we're going to make some triangles. So I want, and I do recommend that you have like a non-directional type of designer series paper, you know, something that doesn't have a direction to it is what I mean. Like this could go either way. So we're going to take and put one corner on the gutter and the other corner on the gutter. And then, or track, whatever you want to call that. And we're going to cut. So now we have two triangles. Okay. So now I'm going to take, well, kind of look at them and go, which piece looks better on my front flap? That looks pretty good. Well, that one does too. But I think I'm going to decide to cut this one again. And just to give it some stability, I'm going to put it down at the bottom where this is resting here. And I've got the point of my triangle lined up. And I'm just going to do this. And now I have two more triangles. Okay, so time to decorate our card. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get some adhesive. And I'm just going to, actually, I think I'm going to use some liquid glue because I really want those points to have adhesive on it. And just in case we get messy, I always love to have my silicone mat. We're just going to add a little bit of glue, getting those corners. And making sure it's exactly where we want it. With a good press. Now these two corners right here is where our triangles are going to go. How fun is that? So again, a little bit of liquid glue. Get those corners. And we're going to kind of give a little bit of room, little border around our triangle. About 1/8 of an inch, maybe, not much. This piece only started out at 3.5 by 3.5. Think of how many cards you can make with one pack of designer series paper using 3.5 by 3.5. All right, I always like to put my little pocket down, my front flap down, so that it looks good and balanced, okay? And that's our designer series paper. All right, so now we're gonna do some stamping. And the first thing you wanna do is stamp your greeting. And we're gonna stamp a heartfelt thank you right there. We want to stamp our greeting first before we start tucking things into the pocket so that we have room for the greeting. It's important. Okay, so I have a piece of scrap paper. And for my card, I stamped one of each of these. Leaves, ferns, whatever. And then I took them to my die cutting machine and I cut them all out. The magic of television, right? This is all about the pocket and showing you how to do that. So I didn't want you to forget how to do the pocket card. So I've cut out my pieces, okay? And then I cut out some bits of a Night of Navy, just the different leaves and patterns so that I can use those as fillers. And we're going to get our silicone mat again. And then you can decide, how do I want these in here? Now, this is obviously way too big. However, when you tuck it way down, you can get it, get it in there. If it doesn't fit, you take your snips and you just cut it off. We want it to fit and we want to be able to read our greeting. That looks pretty good. And then like this, maybe. Yeah, I like that. And then we have our little bits that we can add. Okay. So we can start to design before we glue anything down to make sure that we're happy. Yeah, I think this is coming along nicely. I will use one of these. I think it looks good. Okay, let's start adhering everything down. We're going to get our sponge and our liquid glue. And we're going to kind of go from the bottom up. We had that about right there. Or you can decide to add some adhesive. Stick this right here and then tuck it in. And then you could even add some dimensionals. I didn't put dimensionals on mine, but you sure could. And then we have some adhesive on this. This pocket just makes it so fun. And I know y'all are going to find all kinds of things to tuck into your pocket. I can't wait to see what y'all do with this because it's such an easy card and the possibilities are endless. I'm thinking those tea bags. I don't know why I didn't do one with a tea bag because it keeps coming in my head. But you can do it. Okay, I think I want to put, where's my other little one? I think I want to put one more. Have it kind of tucking over the side. Nope, that doesn't fit. So there you go. That's what you don't do. Because the pocket does lift up just a little bit. So that little delicate leaf was going to probably tear if I left it there. There you go. That is the front pocket card. Now, you can decorate the inside if you want, but I chose to decorate the envelope. Let's do that. Put this over there. Got our envelope. You just need a scrap that is at least 6 inches long. And we're just going to, let's put up our adhesive here. We're just going to take, and we're going to grab another silicone sheet, silicone mat. And we want to make sure that we go from edge to edge, especially along that front edge. Now I'm using the Seal Plus. And sometimes when you get off, like I don't want it to hang over the edge, so I'm just going to kind of roll that back with my fingers. And then we're going to take and place. Oh, how do we want it? It doesn't matter. We're going to place our designer series paper just like that. And then we're going to take our snips and just follow the envelope. I got some cards in the mail recently, and almost every one of them had the envelope decorated. And you just know immediately, well, first of all, you know it's a handmade card, but you know immediately, because when you can see the designer series paper, you go, well, that's a Stampin' Up! Card. Okay, so then we just do this. And we have a very fast front pocket card and coordinating envelope. There you go. All right, let me show you my other samples. Kind of tidy up a little bit. How about this one? This one I did come in, I think, and add some dimensionals underneath that red. And again, I decorated my envelope. I did add my tag on the outside, and I stuck it down with a glue dot. So if you do have anything hanging over a tea bag, gosh, you would think that I would have made one with a tea bag inside. But if you do happen to have a tea bag, you know, you could just make sure that that stays secure. And then how about this? How about adding a little die cut butterfly and a message on the inside? Because I didn't really have much room on the outside to stamp my greeting like I did on this card. Okay, so there you go. You can see that. And where's our envelope? Okay, we've got these two. And how about one for the guys? Oh my gosh. Talk about an easy card. All I did was use the die cuts from He's the Man, or He's All That, or He's the Man specialty paper. And on this one, I actually put dimensionals. Whoops, you can't see. Dimensionals, and I stuck my pocket down. I don't know, something different. And then nice work. And then, of course, the coordinating envelope. So there you have it, my friends. I hope that you all will give the front pocket card a try. Happy stamping, y'all.